Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Faharna binti Satosa. My metric number AE170043. For this assignment, we are acute lymphoblastic leukemia detection based on convolutional neural network CNN. For introduction, lymphoblast is the second most common white blood cell, 20% until 50%, and these cells are easily to find in a blood smear. The characteristic of lymphoblast is the cell have small spherical shaped nucleus and contain a dark staining condensed chromatin. Non-lymphoblast is a cells that are developed from myeloid stem cell. Non-lymphoblast is rather small, it has small mitochondria and has an oval nucleus. Biologists use microscopic examination to differentiate lymphoblast and non-lymphoblast.
Muhammad Nabil bin Muhammad Noor. So my metric number is 170072. So today I'm going to explain about the two types of CNN model type. So we know that convolutional neural network has two types that we learned. So the first type is deep and second type is wide. So I'm going to skip the step which explain about the linking part of the Google Drive and the Google Colab. So in this case I will skip to step 4. Let's go first to the deep model. So this is basically the codings, the algorithms for deep. You can see the dimension 3x3 and the number and max pooling. So this is the input shape 150, 150 and 3. Next. Okay, so this codings or algorithm will show the model, layer type, and the max pooling, conventional 2D, max pooling, and then it will go to dense. So the fourth step is to construct the CNN model. Based on the coding, the results shows the same value for total params and trainable params, which is around 19 and 034 and 177. Meanwhile, the value for non-trainable params is 0. So it is the same as indicated in this window. Next, we will go to CNN model type wide. So this is actually the same thing, except for that we use the wide model. Okay, and we execute the same thing in the Google Colab, and the total params will be 19, 034 and 177, and the trainable params is 19, 034 and 177, and the non-trainable params will be 0. So we do not have any leftover. So the fourth step is to construct the CNN model based on the coding, and the results will show that the same value for total params and trainable params, which is the same as I said earlier, 19, 034 and 177, and meanwhile the value for non-trainable trainable params is 0. And of course at this step the value are still the same as the deep process. So if we got the different value, it means that we have some error, or maybe we did something wrong in the process. So we should reconstruct the algorithm or so on, because basically these two methods will make us get the same result. I think that is from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ashiki binti Muhammad, and my matrix number is AE170061. So next is I will be explaining about the expected outcome from this project. So first of all, the total value for both strain length and non-lymphoblast and lymphoblast are both 91. Meanwhile, the total value for validation for both non-lipoblasts and lipoblasts are 39, and the data batch shape is 20, 150, 150 and 2. Meanwhile, the label batch shape is 20. The value of step per epoch, and the validation step are set into 10. In deep and wide process, the final result, we can see that the graph has shown a mirror reflection at the x-axis.
Lastly, conclusion. For the conclusion, we are able to design the CNN models and fine-tune until got the highest validation performance. We got the output from the coding, which is 10, of value the per epoch, and validation step. The highest of validation length of non-lipomless and lipomless are 39. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, Ashikin here. So I will be explaining about the simulation for both deep and wide concept. So first of all, we have step 1, which is connect to Google Drive. So this is the coding for connect to Google Drive, and I already connect to my Google Drive. So step 2 is feed the data directory. So the data will fetch from the Google Drive, which is my drive, Google Notebooks IDB. This is the folder. Next, we create the train and validation data directory. So the result is I got non-lipoblast and lipoblast trains. Length is 691, and non-lipoblast and lipoblast vault both 39. Next step is construct the CNN model. So here is the result. I got total params and trainable params are both 19,034,177. So this is the additional step for the deep process, which is construct the pre-trained model with VGG. So this is the result. The total params is 40,700 and 14,688. So it has the same value as the non-trainable parameters. Meanwhile, the trainable parameters is equal to 0. Next we got the total parameters, which is 18,910,017 for total parameters, while trainable parameters is 4,195,329, and non-trainable parameters is 40,714,988. And the next step is pre-process the input data. So in this coding, we got the result, which is it found 182 images belong to 2 classes and 78 images belong to 2 classes, and the data batch step is 20, 150, 150 and 3, and the label batch shape is 20. So in this coding, we use data size for training generator is much more bigger than validation data. We put 5 and 20 and 5 here because in training data we have a lot of image compared to the validation data. And the second last step is start the training process. So here is the coding. We use step per epoch and validation step are all 10 values. Next step is the plot the outcome. So this is the outcome for our simulation. We can see that the training and validation accuracy and the training and validation loss is mirrored at x-axis, almost mirrored. Next, I'll be explaining about the wide process. So the first 4 steps is the same as the deep. process, which is step 1, connect to a Google Drive, and step 2, feed the data directory, which is the same folder as the deep process, which is the collab notebook IDB. I use the IDB folder. Step 3 also the same, create the train and validation data. So we have the non-LipoBus and LipoBus train length, which is both 91, and LipoBus and LipoBus val are both 39. Next is I construct the CNN model, and I got the result. Total params is 90,034,177, which is the same as the trainable param, meanwhile the non-trainable are 0. So this is the difference between the deep and wide, because in wide we don't have the additional step at the step 4, which is the VGG step. Next is the step 5. Step 5 is we have to pre-process the input data. So we have here, we got 182 image and belongs to 2 classes, 78 image belong to 2 classes, and the batch shape is 20, 150, 150, and 3. The label batch shape is 20, which is the same as the previous process. I also use the same value of batch size for both train and validation, which is 20 and 5. The second last step is we start the training process. So I also use the same value of step per epoch and validation step, which is 10. And the last step is we have to plot the outcome from the data, and here is the result. The training and validation accuracy and the training and validation loss are mirrored x-axis, almost mirror x-axis. So that's all for me. Thank you.